Hi, Hector.
Well,
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I spent my whole life working in construction, something I can no longer do now because I was in an accident.
What kind of accident?
I was in an auto accident, got into a car accident. It was about 5, 6 months ago. And I
Mhm.
spent about 4 months in the hospital over it.
That's terrible. Did you have to go through any physical therapy or
Yeah, I'm
how
still
was
going
it?
through physical therapy right now, but it's not looking like I'm going to be able to return to work.
What do you do for work?
Construction, build houses for a living
Oh, very nice. And how long have you been doing that for?
since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Started doing it with my parents.
Oh, that's good. Are you in a family business?
Yeah,
And so you're out of work right now because of the accident?
yeah, I sustained injuries to my arm, excuse me, my shoulder and my hip. And now I've got to walk with a cane, so I can no longer do it.
That's terrible.
So it's caused a lot of depression and anguish with the family.
Anguish with the family? What do you mean by that?
We fight a lot over. I've lost my drive. I've lost my motivation to find work. That was my chosen career, and I can't do it anymore.
That's terrible. Well, do they help you with anything? Like, how do you cope with these sudden changes in your life?
Mostly, I just stay at home on the couch, drink, and watch TV.
How's, how much do you drink at night?
Usually about a 12 pack.
At
I
night?
can go through about a whole 12 pack a night, most nights of the week.
What do you do during the day?
Just sit on the couch. Between the depression and the pain, I have no motivation to do anything.
Does your family stop by? Do they support you in anything?
They try to reach out, but they're constant reminders. Like I said, it's family business. So anytime that I see them, it just constantly reminds me of what I can't do anymore. And it just kind of adds to the depression. So they try to see it, but I do everything I can to avoid them just so I don't have that daily reminder.
Um, how many drinks containing alcohol do you have on a typical day when you're drinking?
Usually burn through about a 12 pack.
I am asking some questions just so that you're aware what I'm doing and just so that I can get a good idea of where we are at with everything. How often do you have 6 or more drinks on one occasion?
Before the accident, maybe once, twice a month. Now, at least 3 or 4 times a week.
How often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you started?
If I keep it within like 2 or 3 drinks, I can maintain control, if you will. But anything past that, between the depression and the alcohol, I just let go. I black out most nights.
How often during the last year have you failed to do what was normally expected from you because of drinking?
Since the accident, most days. Most days. They always expect me to go out and find a new job or, do something to be productive. But like I said, I can't do what I grew up with as my hobby, as my passion due to the injuries. I can't do that anymore. So what else is there for it?
Have you looked at other options?
No, I mostly just stay at home. Kind of stay isolated.
How often during the last year have you needed a first drink in the morning to get yourself going after a heavy drinking session?
Most days. The hangover drink.
How often during the last year have you had a feeling of guilt or remorse after drinking?
Not many. It's not really guilt, it's more of a depression. I drink because I'm depressed, and then it's like it's a cycle.
It's a tough cycle to break. How often during the last year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because you were drinking?
Most times, but to be honest, that's kind of the goal. trying to forget the accident.
Must have been traumatizing. Have you or someone else been injured as a result of your drinking?
No, I haven't hurt anybody else. Sometimes when I'm drunk, I'll forget that my head hurts and get up without my cane or something. Yeah, it causes soreness the next day.
To hurt yourself. Has a
Nothing
relative,
intentional.
good. Has a relative or friend or doctor or another health worker been concerned about your drinking or suggested you cut down?
My friends and family have. My physical therapist and doctors don't know about it.
So you do rely heavily on alcohol. What types of alcohol do you rely on? Like, do you drink wine or beer or
It's
liquor?
mostly beer.
Beer.
Being out of work, I gotta get the cheap stuff.
Mhm. So before your accident, what did your daily life look like? What would you do as a hobby to make you, when you were stressed out, what would you do?
We have a very large family, got lots of brothers and sisters, and we all come over, have dinners together, do parties, at least once a week. But again, being in pain, I sit on the couch and watch everybody else party. It's depressing.
Mhm.
So kind of stopped doing that, stopped seeing them. We'd go to camping, we'd go to picnics, go to the lake, all things, again, due to the accident, I can't do anymore.
Before the accident, have you ever been depressed?
No, I mean, there are days where I was stressed out and I wasn't, but not really depressed.
Have you spoken with your doctor about your pain?
Yeah, and all they do is increase my pain meds and it doesn't help.
Doesn't help. They also don't want you to get relying on them either. And so you don't see your family that often? Is it because you're just depressed and don't want to drink, or want to drink and would rather drink rather than spend time with your family?
Yeah, pretty much. The drinking helps me forget, whereas the family kind of makes me remember. So, and the goal is to really not think about it.
And why is that?
It just, there's nothing left for me anymore. Everything I had was in my construction. Everything I had was in my body. Now that it's hurt, I can't party the way I used to. I can't have those family outings like I used to. I damn sure can't do my job like I used to.
Well, I'm sure that they can be a good support for you, because it sounds like you have a very loving family and a very supportive family, and maybe they could help you. I know that it's painful at first because it's reminding you of everything before, but maybe they could be the new chapter of after, and maybe they could help you find a new job that is less heavy on the body, because our bodies can only last so long, and once you hit a certain age, you're gonna feel it again.
I know my brothers and uncles have reached out trying to get me to come back to work and saying they want to give me a desk job, but I'm no good at that. I'm no use for it. I would sit there and I'd have no idea what to do. I know they'd be paying me out of pity, and I don't want to take charity.
I understand that. But maybe you could take some time and educate yourself on what the office work entails, and maybe there are certain things that you actually do enjoy and you could focus on that. Or there's other physical jobs that don't need as much physical activity, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I know one of my cousins brought up being a trainer, teaching people how to do the job.
That would be good.
But I still feel like with my injuries, I don't know if I could stand there long enough or have the patience with the pain to train somebody. And so I'm worried about that.
What we could focus on is decreasing the pain in daily activities and trying to find a way that maybe physically, we don't want you to rely on medications, and we definitely don't want you relying on alcohol, but maybe if we could find something that gets your mind off of the pain first. And that way it's not alcohol and you're there and aware can build your relationship with your family again, your friends. And once you get out of the depressive state, then you could definitely find the motive of finding a different job.
Yeah, definitely looking at some options. I know right now being out of work, not having any money, and all my money going to alcohol, I'm getting pretty broke, so I can't afford that.
Alcohol gets very expensive.
So, and I don't want to get my wife into work. She's a stay-at-home parent, so I want to keep it that way. I don't want her to feel like she has to work. I'm a provider of the family. I want to keep it that way.
And what does your wife help you at all, or does she kind of keep her distance?
Lately, she's been kind of keeping her distance. I think she sees that I want my isolation. In one sense, it's been nice because it's reduced the bickering and the fighting. But on the other side, it kind of sucks because it feels like she doesn't care.
I'm sure she cares. She just maybe doesn't know how to approach you without triggering you to drink more and get you more angry. So maybe she could just, you could help her understand how she could be helpful. Do you have any kids?
So,
Yeah. And how old are they?
got one that's 5 and one that's 1. One's still a newborn.
You must be proud.
Yeah.
That could be another motive for you.
Yeah. I know. Put the drinking and being a couch potato. Don't really spend time with them anymore. I do kind of miss that. I do miss spending time with them.
I'm sure they miss spending time with you. Did your father drink?
Did a lot.
And how did you feel about that while growing up?
I didn't care for it at all.
Maybe your kids may not care for you drinking.
Yeah, I keep telling myself they're too young to understand it, but I know if I keep doing this, one day they'll get to that age where they will understand it. So that's kind of why I'm here. And I hope to get away from it before they realize what's going on.
Which is a major first step. Now, you were in the hospital for 4 months, and the accident was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And you went through rehab for a month, or still are?
Still.
So you started drinking right after?
Yeah, it was a couple days after getting back from the hospital. I know recovery takes a while, but even after a couple of days, I just really didn't see light at the end of the tunnel. And I gave up and shut down.
Well, what are your thoughts about continuing therapy? Just coming and seeing me every time that you feel like you may need to drink more. What are your thoughts about therapy in general?
Don't really know a whole lot about it. It's really my first session. But I think I'd be willing to give it a try.
The goal is to get everything off your chest, any anger that you may have, any depressive states that you may have, anything that you don't feel like you could talk to your family, because it seems like you're nervous to open up to them, that you may feel a little bit embarrassed and shameful about not being able to work.
Yeah.
Not so much the alcohol drinking, because it seems like you don't feel guilty about that, but
Well, when you open up to your family, they always try to forcefully fix the problem.
right.
And it's always their way. I don't want to deal with that. I really don't.
I
So
understand
that's
that.
why I'm keeping my distance from them.
But maybe you could start slowly bringing them back in, because it seemed like you were very happy with them.
I know we were. Had a party at least once a week. It was amazing.
During the party, did you drink?
Yeah.
Those.
Not as much. And it was usually better stuff.
That is, yeah, because everyone split the cost. Huh?
Yeah.
And then your kids would come along, right? And
Yeah.
your wife. So it was good family bonding.
Yeah.
How are your kids doing in school? Well,
The
kid.
one. He's doing good. He's doing good. I need to cut things with scissors. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I bet. And then, does your wife drink?
No,
She never has?
no, doesn't care for it at all. It's kind of nice because you know you always got a DD.
That's true. That is true. Has she ever made any comments about your drinking?
In the beginning, before the accident, no. But since the accident, yes.
Sorry about that. And then, do your kids understand alcohol? Do you know if they understand what that is, or do they ask you, "Hey, can I have some?" Or,
They do, but I've gotten to the point with them where they know, based off what the bottle looks like or whatever, that that's an adult drink, not a kid's drink. So, yeah, I'm not worried about them trying to sneak it now. But again, they're gonna get older, and come on, we were all teenagers.
yeah, that's true. Are you open to meeting 3 times a week? Once in the beginning, middle, and end of the week, just so that we can see how your depression is and how your drinking rate is, and try to, once it gets reduced, then obviously reduce the sessions, but I think it'd be wise to meet 3 times a week. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I think we can make that happen.
Okay. And then what goals would you suggest for this week for you? What would be an easy first step?
I think the easiest first step would probably be, excuse me, spending more quality time with the wife.
Yeah, I'm sure she would love that. I'm sure she misses spending time with you.
Yeah, and I think if we can build that relationship up, maybe she could help me with the alcohol.
Yeah. And then I would like for you to slowly reduce your amount of alcohol. So how much did you have yesterday?
Yesterday, I probably had 6 beers.
Have you had any today?
Not yet.
Well, let's try to reduce that. How does, my goal is to get you down to at maximum 2. So does 4 sound okay? And then kind of reducing each week from 4 to 3 to 2, and then just, what's 2 a day, then maybe 2 once a week.
Yeah, we can definitely try. Definitely work on it.
All right. Well, I will see you on Friday then.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you.